pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes reviews. Everybody had a chance to review the clerk's minutes from August 13th. Any requests for corrections, deletions, additions, clarifications?
A couple typos, I think.
Oh, no.
I'm picking because I know you're better than I am. I think on the one part, the police presence, you called Peggy Brown Cell and it's Peggy Bell.
Okay.
And then the other part, you read it, and Sean's truck. We put it out to big instead of big or something. So a couple of them, if I.
Not big.
That I'm not picking on it because I know you're
No.
better than me, but it.
I want them correct.
The ones that
Thank
I.
you.
This is where we try and blame AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
No, I haven't used AI. I wish I could use AI.
Oh, there goes that blaming that then. Any others? Noted the corrections. These are the clerk's minutes.
Not picking on you
No, that's.
because I know you're better than me.
Just in case anybody was wondering if anybody read them.
Yeah, see?
That brings us to the first public comment of the evening. Anybody in the public wishing to bring anything up tonight? Scanning the room. Keith?
Casey Kelly, for those of you who don't know.
Casey.
The,
Why'd I call him Keith?
It's.
American Legion folks working on. For those of you, some of you may know, the gazebo, at Legion Square at the Veterans Memorial, is in need of, much more than, routine repairs. The, sills have rotted out under the floor, and the floor is beginning to collapse. So we actually just closed off the entrance, today, caution tape off, and, we've had one bid, for the repairs that it's going to cost us over $6,000, and we just post just doesn't have that kind of money. So it was recommended to us because of the amount of local folks and Inlet visitors that use the facility. Maybe it's appropriate to request from the town some assistance. So we're looking to request $5,000, up to $5,000 from the town to make those necessary repairs.
Do you have more than one quote or bid? If we're going over 50%, we might have to have other quotes.
We could do that. We've just started the process.
We got thresholds for bids.
It's under the threshold though. It's definitely, I get it. It's the best spot to spit after you sit.
That's why it's not.
I want to make sure that's clarified in the minute. Best spot to sit when you're getting ice cream. And, I sat in there with nieces and nephews this summer. So, I get it. It's a wonderful addition to the town. Let's fix it and do it right. Does anybody have a thought on, I know we've got money in the unexpended, funds that we could apply to this, or even the contingency this late in the year. I don't believe we've attacked the contingency.
You would know.
We are continuing our fundraising, but typically our fundraising is we make about $1,500 a year for the one fundraiser we do. A lot of people think that our banners that they see is a fundraiser it is not.
Break even.
We simply manage the program for the sponsors. We don't make a nickel on it. So yeah, 1,500, and that goes towards the normal programs that we support. So this is far above and beyond what we were expecting. It's yes.
Hi, Robin, living EDK. I just had approached the Community Foundation about Perk of Oneida about the Adirondack League Club's grant round on behalf of the Inlet Area Community Task Force. So because they initially missed the grant round to apply. So there could be an opportunity. I know that the ALC has funded things for the town of Inlet, not-for-profit organizations. Are you guys in that?
We received, yes.
Okay.
And we have received that grant in the past, specifically to provide banners for families responsible. They didn't have the monitors.
So there could be still an opportunity this year. Who would I kind of connect with, Ellie? Would I,
Yeah, I was
With
told
Elliott
that the
community.
deadline for that was a month ago.
it was,
You
but,
gotta know somebody.
but I know.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Very good.
When were you looking to have the work done?
Well, prior to Memorial Day, that's our big event where,
Let's see how things shake out then. And, I can promise some level of support without, asking for a motion tonight. I just don't know what, but it would be nice if we could partner.
Yeah,
So you're looking to do it in the spring, then?
yeah.
You want to repair it in the spring? You're looking to repair it in the
I
spring?
would like to do it in the spring.
Yeah,
Just prior to, make sure it's done before Memorial Day. That's our.
Yeah, I think that's excellent. If
Yeah, that's good.
Robin can find something, or even if we have to partner or help or whatever, but we don't want to put forward ours if she can find some.
No.
Yep.
Does that work, Keith? Right. Yep. Anybody else? Oh, gonna go from the back of the room forward. Connie?
May know this, I know I sent everybody a message about this, but we're still talking about the problem at the post office. Number one is that Kathy had said that a lot of older citizens have a heck of a time opening the door. It's just too heavy for them. So she sometimes comes out and helps them get in or get out or whatever. And then we, looking back at the door from, the desk there, you can see right underneath the door pretty clearly, there's a big space underneath it. And we've talked about this in the past and seen if there was a way to work on that. The floor itself was pretty bad, especially near the door. And then the other thing is when there is power outage, there's no power there, and we are supposed to lock the door, but I don't do that, pop it open. So we were talking about, especially for the power thing, the library has the same situation. Power goes out, the library doesn't have any backup power. So all of those things we're talking about, is there grant money or some way we can address it, because the town owns the building. But, yeah, some of these things need to be addressed, especially, the door, floor, the power. And, is there a way we can move forward with that? I know, yeah, have you got something to add to this, Robin?
No, other than I don't know any pricing.
Okay, and Bonnie was gonna try to get some estimates,
Mhm.
together so that we would know what we're looking at.
And I don't want to poop on any of it, but when I read some of the dialogue on the grant, it seemed like there was a lot of things that needed to be attached to the grant other than pricing, like the type of community we were with housing and some other things.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that during our.
Oh, okay, sorry. But as much as to Herb's earlier comment, I'd hate to try and put some money forward if there was money out there somewhere, but I also don't think we should wait on something like the door, at least. The generator, maybe. I hate to say that that's not as heavy requirement as whatever, but there's so many mixed uses in that building. It almost becomes like a situation when we redid the generator down here for the sewer system. It's almost a shame we didn't put a generator on that pump station behind the,
Just to remind you, did look into all that. I don't know if you remember, but you guys were looking into getting it wired in, so it's not like you're just blowing it off. You definitely looked.
it's expensive.
Yeah,
it was too far.
and you got
Yeah,
multiple meters.
right.
It's a huge can of worms over there.
So dialing back, that might be the grant situation for the generator, definitely. But we're gonna be scheduling our budget talks. I had planned on putting some money in the library's budget, or in the post office budget to do the door. It needs to be done. I get it. Number one for the heat, and number two for easier access into the building. And fix the light above the door. There's a whole bunch of things there, and it's also come out that the post office isn't gonna pay for that. The landlord is responsible for that. You're never gonna get the post office to pay for that.
You don't even hardly pay their rent. So let's not go down that road.
Well, they always pay it. It's just not a lot.
It's not a lot. All right, that answer,
Wanted to bring it up again and.
Yeah.
Address all these things, so. talked about a couple different, possibilities in terms of grant, so. Yeah, we can move forward on that, Bonnie's gonna give some estimates, what it would take to do all those.
Would it have to be upgraded to handicap accessibility? We did that? We changed the door, would it have to be handicap accessible?
I think that's what we were looking to do anyway, right? Right? I mean, it just makes sense if you're gonna upgrade a
Right.
door. make
Yeah,
it
well, I guess what
ADA
Tim
compliant.
is saying is if you open that door
You're gonna have to
to
do that.
Andy, that you literally, they could go all out with the ramp,
Right.
you know, I mean, you're gonna be talking about a lot of money. You gotta change the ramp size and you're gonna have a
Percent
rail.
grade, all that.
This,
We can make an easy access door,
yes, not
not
handicap
handicap.
accessible.
I hate to split that baby, but there's there's not enough room in front of the post office to do something different. There just unfortunately
Yeah.
isn't. That said, the county has been struggling with the front entrance into the new addition. I call it the new addition. It's probably 30 years old. It's been horrible since day one. They're going to be looking at new, easier access doors for both Indian Lake and Lake Pleasant. So I'll be able to get some comparable quotes that we could use here.
Oh, good.
They're not going to be cheap.
No, but it's good.
Maybe make it so the door opens the other way so that when people are getting the mail behind the door, they're not getting it constantly.
Well, I'm glad you said that because mine's behind the door and I didn't want anyone to think I was thinking it just for myself.
We did it on purpose.
That would be first on my list, but not just for me, but you know, I've
Aren't commercial doors supposed to?
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to. This one?
Yeah,
That's open out for,
Yeah.
but anyways, yes. That it on that, Connie? Okay, Peggy, you had your hand up earlier?
I just want to thank Sean and his guys again for the work they did on the Townsend Trail. That trail, the section that they did this spring, got a lot of use this summer, both by walking and bike riding.
And it still looks fantastic.
Yeah, when it rains, it washes out in certain areas, and I know he's gonna take care of that, but I just wanted to thank him again, because that was a big plus this year.
Well deserved, thank you.
Thank
And
you,
your guys. Anything else before we move on? There's another public comment at the end of the meeting. That brings us to highway.
All garbage and recycling. We paved the hill on Evans Drive and the remaining section of Uncas Road. I'd like to thank all the towns, Hamilton County, New York State DOT for sending trucks to all the blacktop for us. I'd like to thank Foreman Construction for the nice paving job. Hamilton County is gonna come back, put shoulders on Uncas Road at some point. We did back up the driveways after the paving was complete. We put up the no motorized vehicle signs on the Townsend Trail. Speed study has been completed on the gravel section of the Uncas Road. The signs have been ordered. And we will be working with the town of Long Lake Highway Department with the installation. The locations have already been marked for Dig Safe for 8/11 to come out and locate the utilities. We're hoping to have the installations done the week of September 22nd. We lined the ditches on Evans Drive with rock to stop the erosion and put shoulders on Evans Drive. Finished up Lost Ponds and Moose River Plains. Still have a little bit of work to do in there to complete both roads, but nothing major. Coming up, we're gonna haul garbage and recycling, brush mow some sections of the Uncas Road. I have a section of Uncas Road I want to ditch, and we want to pull some rocks for winter. Finish up our projects in the Moose River Plains. I encourage anyone to take a ride out there and see the work we've completed. Last year we completed Mitchell Pond Trail Access and Helldiver Pond Access Road. This year we completed Beaver Lake Access Road and Lost Pond Access Road. I'm gonna meet with DEC about next year's potential projects in Moose River Plains. Haul the rest of the remaining gravel in the plains is piled at our shop. Install speed limit signs on Uncas Road. And we have a large culvert to install on Uncas Road. I reached out to Tracy from the county about helping us with a large excavator. He's pretty booked up, but says possibly middle to end of October. If not, then we may have to push it off till spring. And that's all I have for highway.
I'd like to add a thank you for the paving you did on Evans Road.
And Uncas Road.
And Uncas Road, but I'm specifically targeting Evans Road. I know my wife would be very, very, very happy with the work that you guys did up there. The amount of work she put into trying to get that permitted to put that road in from the APA took years. And I'm glad it didn't take as long to get the hill paved because it looks really nice. And the Uncas Road looks great.
Drainage is nice on Evans Road. It really looks nice. It'll be good for you guys. too, yeah.
Nice job, Sean.
Very nice.
Transfer recycling.
Open 7 days a week from 8 AM to 7 PM, closed from 12 to 1 daily for lunch. Please enter the building so that the attendants can see what you're bringing in and they can tell you where it goes if you're not sure. And make sure any lumber brought in as C&D is cut to 4 feet or less. If you have any questions, please see the attendant. As always, we're here to help.
I got some
Sure.
containers for the transfer station. Like Pete, you were gonna maybe look into them?
Recycling containers.
If we were gonna replace them or
Oh,
offer them.
waiting for an estimate from a friend of mine from New Jersey who's in the business of producing those things.
It'd be nice to know what that would be if we were gonna try to entertain.
Called them the other day, didn't have anything yet.
Has anybody still got the blue containers?
I got one left.
Using them? One left?
That's mine.
I think I got one that's still got a handle on one side at least.
I guess it'd be nice at some point, maybe if we could replace them once more in 20 years or whatever.
But keep us posted.
Well,
Thanks, Pete.
I'm trying to get a sample of them.
That would be great. Couple samples would be pretty neat.
100 would be real.
Little bigger, might be-
And now that we've gone to
Semi-singles.
semi-single,
stream, maybe. that-
semi-single street,
Yeah.
get me started on that.
It's a good word, semi-single stream.
All right, want to dive into the thing I've got on the agenda now, or you want to wait till later? Select start date for winter hours and what kind of hours they might be.
Sure. Let's get into it.
Do you have a recommendation, Sean?
Well, it seems like 10-hour days are an awful long day in the winter time. There's not a whole lot of traffic in there after 6 o'clock. So instead of 4-10, maybe go to 5 8-hour days. You get an extra day. Can't make it there on one of the 4-10 days.
On paper, it would seem like that would be more access. Especially since people aren't using it late. Close Tuesday, Wednesday, open the other 5.
Close Tuesday, Wednesday, open the other 5.
Probably, that's where I'm at. I mean, I think you could even do more than that, but at the very least, I think that's what you should do. Gives the people 5 days to go and they have 8 hours each day to go there. And I think you probably don't need to wait till November 1st either. You probably could do it right Columbus weekend. My thoughts.
That'd be good. It does slow down pretty good. I think that'd be a good idea.
So,
What's your 8-hour shift from?
I mean, you'd have to figure it out from where your payroll cutoff is. Yes. You know what I mean? I guess it doesn't matter because it's 40
It'd have
hours
to be
either
on
way. So,
Sunday.
yeah, it's 40 hours either way. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. What's what you guys thinking over there?
Well, like I said, I asked, what was the window for hours of operation from when to when? What 8 hours from? And what's,
What are we doing now?
Right.
Well,
we don't have an 8-hour shift now. That's.
No. But what did we start?
We
started at 8.
We started 8. So I would think you want 8:30 to, I don't know. I don't know. This is going to be the argument because you want to stay up until 6. So
That's why I brought it up.
yes, yeah, and maybe we just do one last day and maybe I don't know.
Back and prior.
It was 9 to 6
9 to
forever.
6 forever.
Forever it was 9 to 6.
I kind of like that.
Forever.
With an hour lunch.
An hour lunch.
I remember those days.
Yeah, running for 30
It was
years
for-
it was that way. Yeah, please. I'd go for 9 for 6. It's nice.
You're gonna have to ask like the Benji Gateway.
Right. You want to table it one meeting, 1 month, throw that out there and just.
Well, if we do that, then we're going to be
You're
tossing that out a week before we want to do it in October.
But most of the people that objected to the 8 to not being 8 a.m. are summer people,
Right.
So
you
for
know?
the,
Enough traffic.
the garbage
Yeah,
people.
the traffic in the summer for the garbage. pickup,
Right.
Right, we don't have
Yeah.
them.
Like,
Any other member of the public or worker at the transfer station have anything they'd like to weigh in on?
feel, but working there after 5 o'clock with a 6 month window, you really don't need to be there at 5. The people that come in between 5 and 6, there's 3, maybe 4 cars. That's it.
Earlier is better than later.
Yes.
And
Your
it-
your recommendation was 9 to 6. I'm just trying to get the
Yeah,
options, just trying to see.
yeah, and what happens is it gets darker in December. It's already dark at 5 o'clock, you know?
Trying to pick up the later, oh, I just got home from work at 5 and I'm trying to get it dumped.
Yeah,
And then-
that's where I'm at. I totally,
That's where
I
he,
respect that thought process.
But there isn't the traffic in the garbage pickup from the restaurants in the winter as there is in the summer.
It's not as hectic.
It's not as hectic. So, I mean, you're not having that traffic rush where you can't get in and pick up trash.
Right.
You don't have.
and you have weekends.
Right.
So
So
people
maybe the
who
9 to
work
6
during
is a
the
good
week
recommendation. I'm just trying
can
to.
do the weekends.
He might know best where.
He- yeah, I mean, well, he certainly knows. He's up there.
Yeah, those 3 or 4 people that you see between 5 and 6 or after 5, do you see them any other day earlier? Just one.
See, that's their only window to get there. That's the deal. That's where I totally get that.
Easiest at 9 to 6 for the winter.
You think that would be best 9 to 6 for winter? So you're,
To say, he's got to work it. but-
well.
You've got a conflict of interest.
You prefer- I don't know what's best for the town.
I kind of lean towards the 9 to 6
Yeah.
that we used to be.
Yeah, that's what I think.
It's gonna be best that way.
Yeah,
It'll give you a chance for the day to
Yeah.
go outside.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the activity out the front window between 8 and 9 like we had 2 weeks ago. So, all right, tentatively set that for 9 to 6.
Starting November 1st.
No, the week after Columbus Day.
Week after.
Well, you've got Columbus Day's the 13th.
Start November 1st.
November
We do.
1st, so
Yeah.
if you want to mess with it for that 2 weeks.
Yeah, just leave it.
All right, then let's leave it then. You want to do that?
Technically, just for the record, it's November 2nd then.
Well, yeah, however,
But I get it.
yeah,
Very good.
The way it falls for payroll.
Yes.
So that's,
yeah, it would be the 2nd.
November 2nd.
Somebody like to make a motion?
I'll offer it.
Second, man.
Discussion starting the winter hours, November 2nd, 9 to 6, closed Tuesday and Wednesday, open 5 days. Hour lunch. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Much shorter conversation than I thought it was. Sorry, Peter. Living 80K.
We did receive some great information last week that our application to the New York State Rural Preservation Program was accepted. So yay, we're doing something they'd like. So that means that we're receiving funds covering 67% of qualifying operational office expenses, which is great. And then I watched the New York Forward webinar today. The New York Forward webinar is more applicable to small towns, rural communities like the town of Inlet. However, the governor has set aside basically $10 million per REDC region. So say the North Country, which is where you are, they will choose 2 projects. I think they said at 4.5 million. So I don't think a generator project is gonna reach that. But
You'd be
if
surprised.
if, again, the pro-housing community is a requirement for municipalities to apply for these types of grants. So it's something for you to think about. Webb did go through it. They initially submitted a letter of intent, then their codes enforcement had to download a lot of, and I don't know if it's 5 years worth of housing permits, but they could certainly give you the feedback on what it took to do that. It was accomplished. It was a lot of labor, but it got done. And it does open opportunities for towns to be able to apply for certain state grants. So that's just something to keep in mind, and that could be a grant type that once we kind of get through the math, the Fern Park plan and whatnot, and you kind of as a community look at what would be a big project, for this community to use that kind of money, then it's something to plan for so that you're ready to apply for it, because I heard shovel ready. Okay, we're nowhere near that, right? So, but anyway, it's just something to keep in the back of your minds as we're going through these master plan and the Fern Park plan, and
Only thing
what
that
would
we
be some ideas of projects that,
shovel ready, the only thing that would be shovel ready, but I think we probably still have to circle back on the permits, would have been the casino project that we were looking to do out there. We've got that fully engineered and had gone all the way through the process with APA and everybody else. And then when the bid came back in, it was way above the grant that we had lined up. And I think the bid 9 years ago was over $700,000.
The foundation really blew it out of the water. Yeah.
So that, certainly would be in there, but I don't want to say the benefit to the community. It'd be another crown jewel in our park, but it's not like a community center or something like that.
well, I think if we kind of get some ideas of what could be applicable or something like this, we could run it by, there's people to talk to say, hey, this is our idea, would this be an eligible type project? But getting the pro housing thing out of the way would be a good idea, so that you're not.
We'll talk to Mr. Rouse. Or is that an Amy thing?
Yeah, John.
John. And I think you could talk to Connie Williams down in. Yeah.
We'll let you tell John that he's got some work to do tomorrow.
So yeah, that's it.
Okay. The public hearing remains open on the Fern Park Master Plan. Anybody should have mentioned that, I guess, at the beginning of the meeting. Anybody have anything they want to add to that? I think our plan was to keep it open. Has anybody contacted anybody with questions, or
Heard nothing about it.
can you track downloads of the plan online? That'd be interesting to know. But again, the plan's available on the webpage. I think. How long?
I did have a couple of people ask for a printed copy.
Oh, okay.
Somebody actually looked at it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's very good. Any idea on how long we wanted to keep this open, when we wanted to start pushing it?
Well, let's get through, sort of where we are or through October.
Okay.
Fall in. At least that was my impression anyways.
And then possibly request to close the hearing and pass it and go for engineering. Okay.
Get the architects.
Yep. Architects, engineering,
There.
them guys. All right. Anything else for Fern Park? Master Plan. Communications. Got any good news for us, Denny?
Other than there is progress, so any progress is good news. I still think it looks like there will be no Herkimer work done this year. The tower site is beautiful. The systems are continuing to function. We used the tower for the 90 miler. Hamilton County offered their antenna for the ham radio operators to use, and provided coverage actually for almost the entire day. So they were very pleased with that. The equipment's there and will stay there over the winter.
How was the coverage through the planes?
I haven't been out to go and do that. I'm very interested, of course, for the black fly, which is the goal, but that is not the antenna we'll have in the end. So it's kind of medium.
Right.
But I was hearing it driving home at night in Forestport, so
It's working.
nice. That's a nice hill.
Very good. All right. Planning board.
Actually, the planning board just wants to make sure that like, it is your pleasure for us to pursue signs and noise still, like, they have some other comparable towns that they're looking at their ordinances and stuff, but, before they do any major work on it, that is something you want them to be looking into, correct?
Yes, just to see if there's anything out there that would match what we could be able to enforce.
They asked me to ask you that.
Okay. I would say yes, right?
Yeah, I don't have any problem.
Sometimes I speak for the whole board. I kind of look both ways here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you look at things.
We use the county noise thing now, right? Ordinance.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, but it's got holes in it, I think.
Only on the books.
Huh?
It's the only thing on the books. So
Right.
that's what I have.
So, and again, enforcement was the big issue. So,
We have heard that we do have a chief that would enforce an ordinance.
Yep.
Would have.
all right, keep going. Parks, building codes, assessors information are attached. Youth Commission isn't. She did send me, she sent it to you too?
Yep.
Just send an email out not too long
Did you
ago.
want to read it?
Sure, but do you under assessor, do you want to first appoint?
Okay, I got that next.
Oh, okay, never mind. All right, so Youth Commission, Youth Commission had their end of year picnic on August 8th. Baseball coach Jeremy and swim instructor Jeremiah organized games and provided certificates of achievement for all those who attended. Each attendee also received a Dick's Sporting Goods water bottle provided by Mountain and Maine. Paul Chambers prepared the Youth Commission grill and grilled the burgers and dogs for the group. The number of participants has slowly increased. The beach was closed at the end of August. We will be looking for a new AED for next season. Otherwise, most of the required items are in good shape. We had 3 full-time and 1 part-time lifeguards. The coverage was very good. Hopefully next year we will find a tennis coach again and we will be able to play more than 1 baseball game, which was a huge success. That's it.
Did you have anything from the information office you wanted to add or highlight? Okay.
Just curious about
Unless
the
you have
permit,
questions.
so. You still curious about that?
Yeah, I did get a reply from Mike Farmer in that email that I had shared with everyone. Cause we still have unanswered questions from
Mm-hmm.
the program and still waiting. Mike Farmer replied saying Alexis was out of town until Friday. She had been working on it, so maybe I'll hear some from Alexis on Friday.
Okay.
It's been 2 weeks since that email. So.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, keep us in the loop. I appreciate that.
thank you. Assessor, it looks like she might want to take the 6-year appointment. They don't know. Her term is up and we're looking to reappoint Amy for a new term. Should she be willing to say yes for a 6-year term? She's looking like she's going to say yes. So would
Yeah.
somebody like to make that?
I'll offer it.
I'll second it.
Second by all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
County, the second by all. We're lucky to have you, Amy. Further discussion? She's done a great job of keeping the assessment where it needs to be. It came back from the county with the assessment regs for the rest of the county, and we're in much better shape with the state. I'm trying to maintain the balance without going crazy. Is that a good way of putting that? And that's squarely on the work that Amy's been doing. So deeply appreciated. Motion to appoint a 6-year term for Amy Van Woody?
Yes, offered.
No, I mean, it's been offered.
Yes, so,
Roll call vote.
okay, all right.
I knew where I was going.
I offered.
Councilman Schmidt,
Aye.
Supervisor Fry,
Aye.
Councilman Levy,
Aye.
Councilman Townsend.
Aye.
So moved unanimously. Thank you, Amy. Did you have anything you wanted to add from your office?
There are gonna be major changes coming because we're going to the statewide web-based board system.
I think I've
I
already.
have my first meeting on it, this Friday, in the county. And then in October, there'll be a 2-week training period that I'll have to go to. I think in some ways it will be a better system, but I think the learning curve is gonna be, some of the older assessors are bowing out and not renewing for this next 6-year term, so. But I think it'll be easier in some ways to work with, being as it is going to be web-based, because the last few years, like I've had a problem with my system for a year and a half now, and I've emailed and texted, and just nobody gets back to me from the state with like split. So I think with it being web-based, they'll be able to go right on, push a button, and we'll be good.
We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it'll be a very smooth transition.
The easy button.
Well, and knowing that that's coming, that's even more reason to say thank you for signing up again. Thank you. All right, trails. We've had quite a few questions on recreational easements and the land use leases. And when I had Bonnie pull the folder out, we've got some work to do. I'd like to meet with a couple of the landowners and maybe one member of the board and Bonnie, and really dive deep into the easement program. We've asked for some better protection from the insurance company, or can we do something different with signs here and there? We had an issue last year where there's a trespass and a fatality in town, and it's time to take a good look at this. We've got maybe 5 executed easements that are run for 25 years, and they get a rebate on their taxes. Maybe it's time to look at the one requirement that you brought up again earlier tonight, that unless the full trail has a loop, we can't get somebody to or pay them an easement. Well, maybe if there's still a couple of people that are willing to sign the easement and we don't go year to year like on the leases, maybe that's something we can look at.
Yeah, no, you're going to have to take each loop, look at each landowner, and there may be differences in the way that they're willing to give you a yearly, or they're going to want a tax rebate, or they're going to do a different thing, but make that all gel. So, right. I agree with you.
But we had our trails worker out there adding basically almost a mile loop on Highland on Seventh Lake Mountain on private property. And we'd like to make sure that's protected for the users moving forward. It's quite an investment on his time and effort and the machinery or whatever, but we're very willing to do it to improve the trails, keep the trails going. But we'd also like to protect them so that they're open, and maybe add some of the signage that would remind some people that private property is private property. Please be respectful. It's not a big ask, in my opinion. We'll get back to you on that. That's going to be a work in progress. That brings us to the town clerk report.
Okay, I have an email that I received. Hello, Mrs. Lutz. I received your name from Rick LeClaire at Inlet Marina as a place to begin. If you are not the correct person with whom to begin a discussion, please forward this email to Mr. Fry or the appropriate party at the DEC and or the Adirondack Park Agency. My family owns the property at 14 South Shore Road, which runs along a good length of the channel across from Arrowhead Park. There are parts of the channel that are quite shallow, with a number of trees that have come down, creating water hazards for boaters. Back in 1984, when my family purchased the property, the channel was dredged and the sand and debris were deposited along our side of the channel by a backhoe. The original discussion had been to move it toward the marina and truck it out from there. It was more economical to have the sand moved to the opposite shoreline at the channel. Given the current state of the channel, the narrow access between the buoy and the dock where boats continue to park, and decades of debris accumulating along the bottom, dredging the channel when the water is let down would be a welcome improvement. We would be willing to have the sand deposited along our side of the channel, again, to significantly reduce the cost of the project. I feel confident that this project would be well received by the boaters that use the channel to access the marina. But if needed, a petition could be circulated to indicate support from the lakeside community. We would be willing to discuss implementing this plan into action. My father, Gary Craig, had worked closely with Pete Khalil when he was the town supervisor to do this previously. He is a civil engineer in the state of New York, so would be quite valuable in terms of the project's details. I'm reaching out to you initially to see how we could go about the next steps to bring this project into an actionable state. You may reply to this email with further directions, contact, or information. Kelly Craig.
I believe you're gonna have to respond that the DEC is the first person to ask. When that dredging was done, and I'm paraphrasing some of this, one of our highway employees got in big trouble for driving the backhoe down the channel and dredging the channel. I believe just past the bridge, they were stopped, ticketed, and told to take the equipment out.
It might have been for a different incident.
That was a different incident.
That was a different
It
incident.
was totally,
But
totally
yeah,
different.
yeah, totally different.
Totally different thing, but I believe
The
we're
dredge was
also,
permanent, the tree removal was not.
okay, the tree removal was not.
Yeah.
So the permitting starts with the DEC.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're not gonna do anything in those waters without the DEC guidance.
So that's the first thing. And then his work as an engineer hopefully would be welcomed by, is he?
Yep, I see it Zoom, Gary.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, very good. We'll put you in contact with the right person at the DEC and start this conversation, because I agree it would be nice to have that cleaned up. I don't think we're going to be able to do anything with that rock that's at the entrance to the channel. That's usually the biggest problem, where there's one buoy now, where in the past there have been two buoys to try and keep people away from it, but people always ignored the two buoy situation, so it was easier just to put one buoy over the rock. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I believe we're willing to help if asked. We've helped the DEC with things in the Moose River Plains. I'm not going to say that we're going to do all the work ourselves, but we'd be willing to possibly help. They've asked us before to help clean up some of the boat launches. And I believe while we're asking them, the boat launch at Seventh Lake needs work again.
Yeah, that needs.
Someone already talked to the DEC on that.
It's on their list. All right. So, all right.
Okay, the next letter I have is just the quick letter about this speed study, so it's on record. New York State Department of Transportation has completed a study to lower the limit on Uncas Road in the town of Inlet. Based on existing roadside conditions, field test drives, radar speeds, and crash history, New York State DOT is approving this request to lower the speed limit from 55 miles per hour to 25 miles per hour. The official order authorizing the 25 miles per hour speed limit will follow. Upon receipt of the official order, the town may install the signing necessary to implement the new speed limit. It's that. And then I didn't print out my. We received a notification. We were put on notice, or whatever you want to say, or notification that the Inlet Golf Course. Inlet Golf Club is applying for a liquor license at, I guess, the clubhouse type of established tavern. So we have to just have that on record that they've put us on notice.
Nothing we have to sign for submission or anything. I thought we used to have to do that.
I usually have to sign something. She gets me something. They usually get me something. I sign something and give back, but I think.
Support a letter, isn't there something?
Yeah, a letter of support, a letter. So we have to say that we are okay with it. And then I send a letter back saying we're good with it.
You want a motion that says we're okay with it?
Sure, yeah.
Make a motion that we're okay with the Inlet Golf Club applying for a liquor license and hopefully opening back up again.
I second it.
Any further discussion? It's a nice step forward, hopefully.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried unanimously.
Sorry, I was writing. We appointed Amy. I think that's it. I'm done.
All right, got three things. Actually go from the bottom up on this one. I have stopped doing the payroll program. Williamson Law is doing that with unfortunately at this point, I think too much help from our town clerk. But the pay that I used to get for doing the payroll program is now earmarked for Williamson Law and support on that. I am no longer getting that, even though I was still doing the retirement reporting. That's okay. There had been.
Are you done with it now, though?
I don't know. I'll whatever they.
I know, but you know what I mean.
I'm not happy with the amount of work that's landed on her desk, but I'm hoping more of it's going to move towards Williamson Law. So I have no problem helping her if she wants. I don't want her getting stuck with this.
Yeah.
My plan on that was if the election cycle holds true for 1 year, 3 years that the governor has proposed, there'll only be 1 year left in the term that I'm running for. I just want to make sure that there's a smooth transition, not transmission, as it shifts somewhere else. All right. There have been some questions after the last meeting on that, so I thought I'd clear that up. The Eurasian milfoil, the treatment that I'd like to consider for Fifth and Seventh Lake that the lake associations have asked for. I reached out to Hamilton County Soil and Water. Lenny, one of their agents, said he's interested to help with that. So I want to get Lenny and the APA maybe together and see where we're going with that. Get us some costs to look at for budget time. If it's going to be a big cost, I don't know if the lake associations are going to be willing to support it that much. I know in other areas that have done it in the park, some associations have. It's a big issue. And I know the Fulton Chain Lake Association is one that asked to have Fifth Lake done. And Fifth Lake would be easier than, believe it or not, the bay up in Seventh Lake, because the area of infestation in Seventh Lake is huge. Huge. But anyways, this is all in early. We're not looking to do something next month or next spring. We're just trying to figure out what's involved and how successful these other areas were. All right, set the town budget workshop schedule. Right. You're gonna have quite a few things that are gonna have to be tweaked in the budget this year. I know our accountant has asked for some changes in the budgeting process, move some lines around. It's not gonna be as easy a budget this year. So I still hope to have by the first of the next month a draft budget to you guys. Looking for availability to start talking between next board meeting is on the 8th, and then we have to adopt supposedly by
Before November
20th. Oh,
no,
File it by the 20th.
it's filed by the 20th.
Election day is the 4th, so you by the 6th, you're supposed to have
All right.
done it.
So that would give us 4 weeks between the two board meetings. Normally I'd like to try and bring you guys in for like a couple hours before the board meeting on the 8th to talk. Does that work for people?
Sure.
Wednesday instead of a Tuesday now.
Sure.
And then if we have to, I'd like to schedule probably a meeting for the following week, the same thing, Wednesday, if at all possible.
Good one.
The 15th. And yeah, election date is the 4th.
All right, so what do we do here? I'm
Yeah.
still on the first one. Second one was when?
The following week, the 15th,
15th,
What was the first one? I missed.
the 8th,
Okay.
the 8th.
Oh, okay.
because that's our board meeting.
Board meeting, yep, okay.
2 hours early?
2 hours early on the 8th. So 4:30, because we pay bills at 6:30 or review bills at 6:30.
15th, okay.
And 15th, maybe coming at 5 o'clock.
Sure.
Maybe able to promise pizza depending on who's open. And if we haven't wrapped it up on the 15th, we'll set another date that night.
Sounds good.
All right, I have nothing for executive session. Any members of the board have anything they want to bring forward? Public? Nope. Peggy?
So you wanted to ask was about the 911 numbers. Are we gonna fire those off?
We're hoping the letter's gonna go out November 3rd.
So when will the new numbers start?
Well, I don't know, probably, maybe before that, with the letter to go out. John's not here tonight, he was working on it. Right?
Yeah. I think you'd want to start around the first of the year, right?
I think they're shooting, maybe the letters are going up next month.
Yeah, but you need a break in between. So if the letters are going out in October, you could say they're going to start by the first of the year.
Numbers are effective the first of the year.
Yeah.
Here's your number.
Oh, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would think. I mean, you could push it off to.
The night, we were up today doing more roads, so.
And
So your little glitches have all been worked out?
We're hoping.
It sounds like almost, but again, there's a period where both numbers still work, correct?
Yeah, so there's.
Yeah. There's a little overlap.
The issue now is, Denny, what's that called? You sent it out today,
LDR.
shape file.
Yeah.
We're dealing with the shape files, which have to go to T-Mobile, Spectrum, National Grid, all these places. For them to get out the post office to get all the information correct. So, and I think I got a thing from you today that we gotta work with
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile right now. So
I know it's been years in the process.
it has.
It is.
And because, what, 2 or 3 different directors at Herkimer County and then started over?
It's been turnover and yeah.
But we're getting close.
Closer than we've ever been.
Don't worry, when the letters go out, I'm gonna be out of town.
Yeah.
Not a problem. I'm up in Florida or something.
And even if they started an effective date, if it's the first of the year, if it's the 1st of April, whatever the effective date is, your old numbers are still there.
Right.
It doesn't affect when they look on the CAD, they're gonna have both things there. So it'll be a transition period. You know, it's just a matter of getting it started. And I agree with you. It's been a while.
Emergency services should be a lot more seamless than UPS and FedEx.
We hope.
Yeah.
The next thing I wanted to ask was if, John, you were planning on, or if you're doing more time in the office or any time in the office?
It's like I told you when we met in the office down in Bonnie's office, I'm looking for, I've got a couple of things that I'm trying to clear up. I know it's personal stuff, but you know, just this past weekend, I was in Rochester trying to clean out my mother's house. I think after Columbus Day, I'll be able to spend a lot more time in the office. I'm definitely planning on that. I apologize for that, but it is what it is.
Well, I know you have said that you struggled, and I know everybody in here has lost a loved one at some point in time. And usually you get 3 days for weakness. And then after that, you have to go back to work unless you work for yourself. Or you don't get paid.
I will say that elected positions are different, and working from home has worked for me. And I would also like to add that, you know, the double whammy of losing my wife and my mother within 3 weeks definitely hit a little harder than I thought it was going to. And this isn't a normal situation for me. And I don't want to belabor this, but the amount of support that I had to give to my wife the last 2 years, this was not a normal bereavement process. I don't wish it on anybody. I just ask people continued support through this. The board, the highway superintendent, the town clerk, every department head and employee has stepped up to help with the situation. And I'm deeply thankful for the community support as well. Anything else? Pete?
I will have information on recycled containers tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow.
Oh, already got a message back? Very good. Did you have your hand up, Chuck?
Going back to trails, the other day Chip stopped at my shop and asked me if I wanted to go for a ride. He wanted to show me that trail that he was working on up on Stillace's property. And it's pretty amazing what he's done with that trail. You should be damn proud of what he's done with that trail. It is really nice.
Perfect summer to make that happen too.
Once the leaves are off the tree, there's gonna be some breathtaking views up there. And what he's done for the terrain and everything like that, he's done one hell of a good job.
And that's over 4 weeks from when, before the last meeting, he took me for a ride. My liver still hasn't caught up with the bouncing and jostling around that it took. So I'm glad you got a better ride.
Where exactly is that trail?
It's up on Seventh Lake Mountain on the private property that Stulupi has. It used to be the Cohen's, Evan and Haru property back in the day. The property stretches from basically the Seventh Lake House on Route 28 over the top of the mountain down to the state land butting up into the plains. And comes out almost to the Limekiln Road in a couple of spots, but not entirely.
On Lake Mountain, the edge of that too.
Yeah. It's I want to say 1,000 acres.
Close to that.
It's
600.
600.
That piece.
It's a
Yeah.
big piece of property. And quite frankly, Chip and I even got turned around the first time we went up there and the leaves were still all on the trees. And we're looking at water on an island and then we're trying to figure out if it was 6th or 7th or whatever. Come to find out when he got back and looked at the map, it was lime kiln. I mean,
You get turned around.
you get turned around up on the hill, but when the leaves are off on that, the riding up there is gonna be, it's gonna be probably our crown jewel for the snowmobile trail this winter.
So what's in it for him?
For Staluppi, he gets to ride his ATVs over there and go hunting
In the off season.
in the off season.
Right.
You know, and for us, it's the use of the trail. But it's again, and I'm not speaking out of school, but that his private property, I think primarily is used for hunting. So, but anyways,
We'll ask Webb for more.
I'm bringing you with me.
You know what? It's another mile. Check it on there. Anyway,
Oh, my God.
any other questions? What's that? It's
mile?
just about a mile. But again, and you know, everybody says, you know, some of our previous loops were probably pretty small. This isn't a small loop. This is a nice ride. This is definitely, you know, a loop around, and probably people are going to be stopping and enjoying the view up there.
Nice. Very nice.
Is that it for public comment? All right, I have nothing for executive session. Audit the bills. Motion to pay highways presented earlier tonight.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Motion to pay general and sewers presented earlier tonight.
Offered.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Next meeting is October 8th. Thanks for coming. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. See you next month.
Right then.